Hi, this screencast shows how simple it is to use the multi-language translation tool. I'm starting with a Newsela article. Newsela has the same news article written at various levels. I'm going to start with 590. I'm imagining that I'm using this for an ESL 1 class. Okay, so I'm going to just sort of scan it and get an idea of what's there. I really do this very quickly. Okay, so now that I have an idea about this, I'm going to change my screen so that I have side by side two screens. Now, I have saved on my bookmarks bar a link to a force copy of my multi-language translation tool. So I'm going to click on this. I can do this anytime in class, and it just makes me make a fresh copy. So I'm going to make a copy. All right, so now I want to name it something separate. Of course, when people are watching you, it goes working, working, working. So I'm going to name it, how about tasty, healthy. I should probably be correct with the tasty, healthy, and cheap school lunches. Okay. So I noticed that they had the word throwdown, and it's slang and it's not the most important word, but it would be helpful for kids to know what that means. So I know that if I put throwdown into the translation tool, it's going to just say throwdown. It's a weird word. So here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I don't need the English column, so I'm going to hide that column, because I'm going to put everything in English and then it'll show up in the other languages. So I'm just going to say in quotes, throw down means competition. So that gives Google a little bit of context for making the translation. So I look at it here, and so the Spanish and the Portuguese, that makes it seem like it has done it correctly. So now I'm going to go do the words. Now, keep in mind, this is for ESL 1 students. So I'm looking for the words that have the most general utility and or are completely necessary to understand this article. So I'm not assuming anything. So I imagine that I will have kids in this class who don't know what tasty means, healthy, or cheap. Now they're talking about a delicious dish, and this is one of those weird words where I don't know in the other language whether the word for plate is the same as the word for something that you eat. So I'm going to add another word to make sure that Google knows what it's doing. So I'm going to say here, delicious dish. So I click on this. So I'm guessing that plato is like plate. So, it looks like in Spanish that might be the same thing. And sometimes I just add the word by itself. A dish. And then, see, look, this is plate. I want kids to know that there's also a plate is the same thing. So in English, we have dish and we also have plate. Notice that I put the word if something is both a verb and a noun, putting to or a before it will make sure you have the correct version. Now there's the word chef. So I might just show chef as a picture, but I want to differentiate between chef and cook. So there's chef and a cook. And then while we're at it, I want to put the word to cook. Now keep in mind, this is ESL 1 kids. So I can see in Spanish and in Portuguese that the words are related, but that I have different versions. The word meal is important. And let's see. I've already said what competition is a word that we had, but contest is another word that they have in there. So contest and so raise money is different than like, raise your hand. So I'm going to put the phrase raise money in here and see what comes up in Spanish and Portuguese. Now I don't speak Spanish or Portuguese, but I know that dinero is money. So that seems like that has come out correct. And then menu. Oh, look, it's the same in Spanish, but in Portuguese it's quite different. And then freeze. Now, I'm going to leave it there. This is obviously not every word that an ESL 1 student might not know, but by giving them 16 words in advance, it really can make it easier to access a text. So now I'm going to, this is just saved here, right? Google saves things automatically. I'm going to go to my Google Classroom right here, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to add the link. So I'm going to go back into this Newsela, and I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to create an assignment, and what was the name of that? Tasty, healthy, and cheap school lunches. So I'm going to call it Tasty, Healthy, and Cheap School Lunches. Okay, so first I'm going to put a link, and I'm going to paste that link to the article in Newsela. And now I'm going to insert files using Google Drive. And because it's set to recent, Tasty Healthy School Lunches is going to be right here. I don't even have to search for it. Post. Okay. Now I'm going to put the whole sheet up. Before I had it set small so that I could have things side by side, but I'll show you the whole spreadsheet. So this works very well at a middle school level. Kids absolutely know which column to look at. And I will typically post this on the board and have the kids look at it at the same time. And I say the words, I make them say it. We might talk about it a little bit. I actually don't even have them write the words at this point. This is just ammunition for attacking the article. See how easy it was to use the multi-language translation tool? Thanks very much.